welcome on board Suresh Iyer, the MD and CEO at Can Fin Homes, to talk about how their quarterly performance was. Suresh, great to have you on ET now. Let me first talk about your disbursements and that's seen a good growth for you, definitely. You're pretty confident, as we understand, of achieving this 2,500 crore rupee mark as well. Tell me what has actually led to this kind of a target?
See, basically, we have a growth across all geographies. That is one positive. So there is no, slowdown in the market or in the demand. And we have basically concentrated on the 20 lakh plus segment. And there we have seen a growth in both the 20 to 30 lakh as well as 30 lakh plus segment. And that is what has driven our growth for the quarter.
Right. Given that you were confident of achieving this 2,500 crore rupee target, help us understand what's the visibility now going forward? How much would you manage to clock, or do you continue seeing a miss in the future quarters too?
No, actually, we will going forward. We are very confident that we should be able to continue this growth, and Q3 should be about 5 to 10% higher than Q2 in terms of disbursement, and that should help us in slightly picking up our AUM growth also. Because last quarter we had a 9% growth, which has slightly inched up to 10%. So with the growth in disbursement going forward also, we should see a slight uptick in the AUM growth also going forward.
Okay, slight uptick in the AUM growth and sustaining the momentum. That's good to hear. But the last few quarters were a bit difficult, specifically with respect to states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Could you talk to us about what's been the situation now on the ground like, both in terms of disbursements and collections?
In terms of Andhra Pradesh, and we've actually had a Q2 positive compared to last year Q2, and that in fact has turned around. Telangana still continues to be a little weak for us. And that's mainly because, post the change in government, there have been some demolitions of unauthorized and also it seems that, the builder lobby is going a little slow. So that's one of the reasons. But we are hopeful that, somewhere, going forward, it should kind of, clear up and we should again start seeing disbursements. But Andhra Pradesh for us has turned around and we are positive in Q2 in Andhra Pradesh as well. Along with the other 4 zones also, we are positive.
Positive in the other 4 zones, and there's a bit of a recovery there, at least in Andhra Pradesh. But you talked about sustaining the momentum as we head into Q3, Q4. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand your target was disbursements to a tune of 2,800 to 3,000 odd crores in Q3 and Q4. Are you maintaining that, looking to better that, or what's the number we should pencil in right now?
No, right now, as I said, we will definitely are looking at a 5 to 10% growth. So that should be around 27 and 3,000 is what we had indicated. And that is something we would like to at least have a 5 to 10% growth. So 10% growth from here would be somewhere in the range of about 2,700. So let's see. That's what we are hopeful about. And if Telangana also picks up, I think we should definitely be home on that.
That's on your disbursements, right?
Correct. That's right.
Okay. What about AUMs and loan growth? Because there the guidance was 15%. Do you hope to better that now?
No, actually, we are on the way towards 15%. So we had 9% in Q1. Q2, we have improved it to about 10%. And as we move forward with disbursements also picking up, we should be closer to 15% by the end of the year. And that's what the target we had given for FY25.
Okay, while a large chunk of your business is definitely secured, I wanted to understand whether you think the stress in unsecured business in the industry can impact your growth as well. Can it really pilfer through?
Actually, unsecured loans, in our case, we don't have any unsecured loans. And we are very, careful about, the customers who have taken multiple loans, because we do monitor that as well. When we meet the customer, we look at the other liabilities, we look at the CIBIL and all those things. So we do look at those things. And if this short-term loans, which have a higher EMI, tend to go down, then our eligibility in terms of home loans actually will go up. Because in many cases, our EMI or our loan eligibility gets constrained by the higher EMI of the personal loans and short-term loans. That is one thing. And I guess this would give a little more, push for LAP loans, because if personal loans, unsecured loans are not there, then for business use, a lot of customers may come for a LAP loans. But we've been very careful in LAP. So I think we will not be, lured by that.
Getting lured by any of that, but you're one of those deposit-taking NBFCs, so wanted a better sense from you on the deposit side of things. How's your cost of credit likely to move? What's been your latest trends that you have been seeing in terms of deposit taking?
In terms of deposits, we've actually are still offering a very attractive rate up to 8.25 for senior citizens. But of course, there are other players who are offering much higher rate. And compared to the deposit cost, our borrowing cost from other avenues, that is bank borrowing and NHB refinance and even NCD actually, is lower than the deposit cost. So we are not focusing too much on deposit, although of course it is a target, and we are keen to have a more stable deposit growth. But having said that, we are not likely to increase our deposit rate just to garner deposits at the moment, because we are having cheaper options available. In terms of credit cost, of course, you have seen that our NPA, gross NPA in absolute value also has come down in Q2 compared to Q1. And normally this is the trend, because after the year end, the first quarter generally it peaks and then slowly starts coming down. So by the end of the year, we would definitely we are confident we should be able to bring it below 0.8%. Right now, our gross NPA is 0.88%. So by end of the year, we should definitely be able to bring it down to below 0.8%.
Right. Okay. Great to then have you on the show. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
very
taking
much.
the time out today, Suresh, and speaking with us.
There comes a time when your heart calls for you to arise. Plant your feet solid into the ground. Decide your own limits. And then break right through them. Become something more. It's my time to rise.